Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the European crossover webinar. And I'm going to make the webinar fairly quick. As you can see, everything's in disarray because Microsoft decided to go and do an update, and everything got all screwed up. So, moved to the other window, and I've got to reset everything. And actually, went through a lot of work last evening to get everything all squared away. And the felt had everything all set, and when it did the reset, it messed everything up. So once again, like I said, I'm just going to. This kind of looks. It's just a mess right now. So let's just fly through it and get it done. Okay. Sorry, but pretty frustrated. Actually, it was actually doing the update. I thought I was gonna have to log in late because I had computer problems yesterday, and it just completed the update literally about 5 minutes before I was supposed to start in. I signed up and everything was all thrown all over the place. So let's see, for data right now, UK GDP was 2 hours ago, industrial production was 2 hours ago, German data was 2 hours ago, Spanish CPI was 1 hour ago, and let me see. And we have Michigan consumer at 10 a.m. Eastern. And once again, that's UK industrial production. Okay, let's go and get started with the analysis. Like I said, really frustrated. Went through a lot of work to set this one thing up and had it perfectly all set up. And of course, when it rebooted, nothing saved and everything was all thrown all over the place. And I got to start from scratch all over again. So very frustrated to say the very least. Okay, let's just go and get started with the analysis and get it over and done with. Hang on. Okay, euro dollar. Euro held firm on ECB day, albeit in a tight range. Resistance on Friday will be 22.27 with support at 21.24. Onto the cable. Cable rally on Thursday in a tight range. Resistance on Friday will be 42.32 with support at 41.02. Australian dollar. Aussie rallied from a dip sub 77 on Thursday. Resistance on Friday will be 77.88 with support at 77.11. Dollar yen. Dollar yen closed lower on Thursday in a tight range. Support will be 8.97 with resistance at 8.982. Cash dollar index. The dollar index posted a disappointing close on Thursday. Support will be 89.66 with resistance at 90.31. And on to Bitcoin. Okay, so Bitcoin closed slightly lower on Thursday, following a strong rally on Wednesday. Support on Friday would be 32,350 with resistance at 38,960. And that's 38,960. Move on to E-mini. S&P's posted a solid recovery after testing 4209 to close at new all-time highs. Resistance will be 4260 with support at 4227. Onto the NASDAQ. So we saw the NASDAQ rally. These aren't all-time highs, but you can see pretty solid rally. You can see yesterday, the key was from last Friday. I talked about this from previous Friday saying, hey, look, this market's open to go higher because it closed above this consolidation range. So it's 32,715 or 13,715. We rallied. Well, yesterday and you can see on the pullback, they defended 13,715. And then we've set new highs again. And here was the resistance at 13,954. We had actually rallied earlier in the day and we kind of faded against this area here. Then we came back with a vengeance, and here we are right now. So looking at resistance is going to be right there, which is 14,045. And for support, let's go a little bit lower than that. 13,859. Onto the gold market. Okay, gold tested the 1880 level on Thursday, rallying back to 1900. Resistance on Friday will be 1911 with support at 1884. So you can see this pullback that we saw tested, actually even dipped even further, but we saw a pretty good little pullback, and then the market saw a good solid rally back until we went tested below, but actually we'd even tested even further back. Look at this. 1872. I thought it was 1878, but 72. So once again, the resistance is going to be 1911. And support's going to be 1883. And lastly, with crude oil. So crude challenged the 69, sub 69 area before rallying back to $70. Resistance will be 70.41. And we're actually at 70.43 right now. It's going to be 70.41 with support at 69.40. And it's been a pretty quiet, fairly quiet session. We haven't really gone much. We'll just go back over these real quick and then we can call it a day. But the market, the FX didn't really go anywhere yesterday. It was really a very tight range. And like I said, I have to start all over again with spent quite a few hours, not a few hours, but a couple hours working on this to get it resolved. And I'm like, wow, everything's just perfectly set. And then I wake up and then my computer's doing a Microsoft update and then all that work is completely lost. And as you can see on the other chart, everything was the bad thing about this other program, it never saves the charts where you leave it. It throws them all, not all of them, but it'll skew them. So basically, after all that work, it didn't save any of this stuff. So anyway, we're just going to touch over that, and then I'm going to have to try and spend about another hour and a half at least trying to put things back together the way we were. So anyway, you can see here, we haven't really gone anywhere. Yesterday was a pretty tight day. They came back, and we're not really doing a whole lot. The euro, just basically sitting here. As I said, it's 22.27, but we're really not going anywhere. Summer doldrums already in FX. Moving on to, once again, these just quick overviews. It looks like we even lost the cable. And sure enough, lost the cables. Hold on. Okay, and here's the cable. We saw a pretty decent rally, but once again, restricted to a tight range. As I said, 42.32 on the upside, but we're 60 pips away from that. It just looks like, look at this tight range. This is crazy. It's not even moving. Look at that, 41.49 to 41.84. Not even 40 pips. So I mean, just these markets are dead. Aussie dollars trying to push up a little bit higher. Same thing. We did test sub 77, but they came back. But same thing. We're not even going anywhere really. We're going nowhere fast on this. Dalian, same thing in a very tight range. We've kind of bouncing back a little bit, but look at this. Look at this range from 922 to 946. That's 25 pips. I mean, that's this whole session on here, 25 pips. And then cash dollar index, which was a little bit disappointing, but it didn't sell it for hard. And look at right now with the cash dollar index, 89.95 to, wow, what is that? 12 ticks. Yeah, we're trading in a 12 tick range, so we're just really not going anywhere here. Just nowhere whatsoever. Amir wants to look at palladium, platinum, and silver. We'll take a quick look at that and then call it a day. I'll try and put everything back together here, and this is really frustrating. Well, we have tested that lower area at 1131, and we have put in a hammer from yesterday. Well, the market's really not going anywhere at this point. We're just in this lower area. Looks like they have found some bids here at that support area, which is 1131. I don't expect market to do a whole lot. What you'll be looking for next week is for this market once again to try and get above 1200 and it'll have to do a lot of work. I mean, a lot of work to do that. My guess is we're just going to languish down in here for a while. Let's go on and take a look at palladium. Same similar pattern in palladium. You can see here we've tested this area. Mark's trading a tight range, um, just to try and stop the, not only about stopping the bleed because they got a few bids, but they really need to get above 28.11, and they really need at least 2 consecutive days above 28.11. And this market will not even reassert itself until it gets above 28.63. So look, we're just not going anywhere fast in this. And then lastly, we'll go to silver. Silver's looking a lot bit better than the others. You can see here, it's not like as if it's testing this lower end. It's actually on the upper end. And once again, to generate a new low side leg, we need 2 consecutive days above 28.42. 2 consecutive closes above 28.42. We're on our way, but we still haven't done it. That's what it needs to do. Here's a bias chart for the day. The one market that seems to be doing really well is crude oil. Next month they're supposed to have micro futures, which is, some people trade crude in the room, not too many, but a few. But even if you think, well, big deal, micro crude futures, it's going to add a lot more trading. It's just like when micro came into the indexes, and it just generated more activity. And it's not like this is a dead market. This is a market that really does move. But I'm just saying it also offers people. I'll tell you myself is I would trade crude, but then the moves are so big that I would say, okay, well, I'll trade the mini crude. But the thing about the mini crude, it trades in a 2.5 tick trading range. So if you trade, like it'll trade 70, 70, 42 and a half, 70, 70, 70, 45, 70, 47, 7.5, and 70, 50. So you're giving up 2.5 cents to get in and 2.5 cents to get out. So that's why that's just not even a good product to use. So the good thing about the micro is it's going to allow people to going to be able to hold, and you can obviously play your size as far as you don't want to trade the big contract. You could trade you know uh, 4 micros, which would be almost the same as a mini. I'm just saying you have a way of, and you'd be able to go in, especially on a move that we've seen here. Look at this huge move. The person would be able to actually, if they put on, let's say, 6 minis, you could, ride this and be able to take up a little bit here, then take up another two, and it just gives you a better way to manage risk. I think it's going to be open up the market to a lot more. One of the things that people have complained about, and I've seen one very good uh, prop trader who was trading crude, and he actually moved to the indices because he said that crude just wasn't trading right anymore. They would either be all on or all off. Well, you can see here, I can kind of see where, look at this. This is just going up, up, up. There's not very much, not much give back. I think we'll start to see this market go back and forth and really offer a lot of opportunity. And that will, I think, it's going to create a lot of interest. Matter of fact, the when the micros had come out, I'm trying to remember when they just came out. Even I just lost my. I guess it must have been the micro Bitcoin, and I think it was that one. Anyway, it had not seen that much trading. It was the third biggest one to go in and start trading. But once again, that's what brought all that enthusiasm. I think you'll see that with the crude oil. I'm not sure what day it is, but I think it's in the middle of July. But they're going to debut the micro crude futures, and I think that's going to generate a lot of excitement. and seeing a lot more volatility. Not that we're not seeing volatility, but look at it, it's all a one-way street. I mean, get a little bit here, but some of these moves, if you look in here, the market's just look at that. It's just in a very, very tight range. Yeah, we're way up in here, but it's not really going anywhere. Then all of a sudden the bottom falls out. Then tight. Look at this, and these are 2-hour bars. It's not like these are 5-minute bars. Look, the marks are dead. And we drop down, and then we just sit there. We don't do anything. Then we just take off going in one direction, and then we just sit there, and then we just start to slide back. It's just not very good two-way movement. Anyway, enough of that. That'll be it for the day. I'll go on and get this chart posted. Sorry about that, but like I said, it reset my system and threw everything all off, and I'll get the bias chart posted. And thanks for joining us here in the European crossover.